The Blue Ridge Parkway is a linear national park stretching more than 450 miles from Virginia down through North Carolina. And what it's done is link a lot of these rural communities together, but it's also been an incredible tourism draw for some of these areas.
Well, you certainly see the Smokies, and you can probably see into Tennessee, and it's just beautiful. It's breathtaking. There's no place like it.
I mean, you can go to the Rockies, you can go to the Cascades in Washington or Alaska, but there's really nowhere else in this world, or even in this country, that's like the Blue Ridge Mountains here.
I like it because you can see the sunset in one direction and the moonrise in the other.
The Land and Water Conservation Fund has protected tracks along the Blue Ridge Parkway to ensure that the visitor experience stays the same, that the inspiring view sheds are unimpeded by incompatible development, and that visitors leave refreshed and renewed after seeing some of the most spectacular fall foliage or sunrises or sunsets along the Blue Ridge Parkway.
There's one or two people or 25, 30 people, it just seems to get quiet and all seems to be well by just sitting out looking over the Smokies, and I've not seen it like this anywhere else.
Well, we certainly are blessed to have this beautiful county. It's just Mother Nature at its finest.
Happy to have LYNN Collins with Haywood County Tourism Development Authority here with us today up at Water Rock Knob. LYNN, as you know, a lot of this area has been protected with the Land and Water Conservation Fund. What would you see happening if some of these conservation opportunities that come up with landowners weren't able to be protected?
Well, we lose those views, and then people don't see a reason to come. If there's development, then they complain about seeing that development. That's not what they come here for. So we need to make sure that we are able to preserve and protect those lands.
So when a raindrop falls up by the Blue Ridge Parkway on Water Rock Knob, where does it go?
It's coming into our watershed, and that's why the protection of this is so important to us.
I'm here with Neil Carpenter at Water Rock Knob. Neil is the general manager of the Maggie Valley Sanitary District.
The threat to us is second home development. It's not necessarily agriculture or it's not industry, it's the second home communities.
They're not dumping pollution into the creeks. What's the threat there?
It's the erosion, sedimentation coming from that road and building sites is our main threat. We just try to balance protecting the high tops and the watersheds with more sensible building areas. And you know, we want the people to come, but we also want to protect our mountains as well.
Wild trout streams are the lifeblood of a lot of the cultural history of this part of Appalachia. More pavement leads to higher runoff coming from that pavement, and that pavement heats up the water when it's running off of it. So it leads to higher water temperatures. Fish don't like that. Trout love cold water. Yeah. We like it shady, we like it good for trout, so that people can come up here and experience what this has got to offer.
So I'm looking over your shoulder, Neil, at 1,600 acres owned by the Nature Conservancy, and we've got acreage here owned by the Conservation Fund, Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy over that ridge.
Sure.
What does that add to the Blue Ridge Parkway corridor?
Protecting those vistas, that's what people come here to see.
In every county and every state, local people are identifying their own conservation need and then reaching out to their local land trusts or to one of the national conservation organizations and begging them to buy their land to add it to the conservation mix. Land and Water Conservation Fund is the source of those funds when we're working with a willing seller. So conservation in America is really grassroots.
This is not a federal land grab. These are projects that support local economies and support what the locals want, and that's conservation and recreation opportunities that are close to home.